Hello friends, welcome back to Technique. Today we'll be talking about a camera comparison of two devices under the 40,000 rupees. Now we have the newly launched Vivo V29 Pro which starts at 39,999, and we also have the OnePlus 11R, the Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1 powered chip. Again, this is price starts at 39,999, but with offers now, with the card offers, you can get it slightly lower. But these are two devices below the 40,000 rupees with a good camera setup, and in this video we'll be talking about the camera experience, how good they are, and which of these is better in terms of camera experience. So we'll be purely looking at the camera experience of these two devices, and we'll be deciding which is the better option. Is it the Vivo V29 Pro or the OnePlus 11R? So before getting into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's begin. So let's talk about the camera hardware. Now you get a triple camera setup on the Vivo V29 Pro. It's a 50 megapixel primary sensor, f1.9 aperture. Then you get a 12 megapixel telephoto lens which is capable of 2x optical zoom, especially for portraits. Then you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. That's the rear camera setup. And on the front camera you get a 50 megapixel camera on the Vivo V29 Pro. Now talking about the cameras on the OnePlus 11R, this is again a very tried and tested camera. This is having a 50 megapixel Sony sensor. Now even the Vivo has a Sony sensor, but the sensor on this one is slightly superior. Again f1.8 aperture. Then you get an 8 megapixel ultra wide and 2 megapixel macro. That's not the best option available. Although the Vivo V29 Pro does not have macro, this has just a 2 megapixel macro. We'll talk about that in a while. And then you get a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the OnePlus 11R. So that's the camera hardware as such of these two devices. Now let's talk about the cameras in detail. Let's start with the daylight captures taken with these two devices. So let's first have a look at the daylight captures. In terms of daylight conditions, you can see that the Vivo V29 Pro images are a bit brighter than the OnePlus 11R. The dynamic range is also slightly better on the Vivo V29 Pro. But what you can see from the Vivo V29 Pro shots is that they are slightly saturated. They have a slightly richer tone, but they're not really oversaturated. But you can see that the sky colors are slightly boosted on the Vivo V29 Pro. But if you look at the zoomed shot of these two devices, you can see that both of them offer pretty good details, and the sharpness levels and details are also quite good on both the devices. So there isn't much to differentiate except that the Vivo V29 Pro images are slightly vibrant and also brighter, while the OnePlus 11R colors are much more realistic, but again the images have a slightly contrasty nature to it. But overall we would say both does a quite good job. But if I were to pick, probably the Vivo V29 Pro, even with the slightly saturated images, does slightly better than the OnePlus 11R in terms of overall quality offered. So that was the daylight captures taken with these two devices, and both performed pretty well. Now looking at the ultra wide angle camera. Now both of these devices have same 8 megapixel ultra wide angle camera. Here again neither of them are really superior because the edges are kind of not so great in terms of sharpness level. They are soft. But again Vivo V29 Pro images are slightly better than the OnePlus 11R in terms of sharpness levels, and also the overall the brightness levels and also the color quality looks better in the ultra wide angle camera on the Vivo V29 Pro. So in terms of ultra wide, probably our pick would be the Vivo V29 Pro. Now let's move on to the close-up shots. Here you can see that both the devices produces very similar images that are detailed. The sharpness level is good, but colors are slightly vivid once again on the Vivo V29 Pro. The OnePlus 11R has a more realistic and natural looking colors, but again this is more of a personal choice. Some people do like vibrant images. For them Vivo V29 Pro does the job better, but if you are a person who likes natural colors, then the OnePlus 11R does it better in terms of close-up images. So that was the close-up images. Now let's move on to the portraits. So this one area where the Vivo V29 Pro does it better. Although the Vivo V29 Pro has a slightly richer portraits, but the skin tones and the details are pretty good here, while the OnePlus 11R has a overexposed portrait and doesn't get the exact skin tones, and also the quality and the background blur looks better on the Vivo V29 Pro. Now Vivo V29 Pro also has a more versatile portrait photography with aura lighting, and a lot of other filters and options are also included, which the OnePlus 11R lacks. So you can play around with a lot of portrait options using the telephoto lens on the Vivo V29 Pro. So in terms of portrait conditions, we would say the Vivo V29 Pro is our pick. Let's move on to the low light images. So in indoor lighting conditions, you can see both does a quite good job, and you can once again see that the Vivo V29 Pro indoor shots look slightly better than the OnePlus 11R, but not by a huge margin. Now, but when it comes to extreme low light images or the night mode shots, this is one area where the colors are more realistic on the OnePlus 11R. The Vivo V29 Pro has the tendency to saturate the sky colors, and you can see the bluish color of the sky is a lot artificial than the actual color which is more depicted on the OnePlus 11R. Now the sharpness levels are also quite good on both the devices, and does quite good job in terms of dynamic range as well. The sky colors are a lot saturated on the Vivo V29 Pro. Now zooming on the night mode, you can actually see that the OnePlus 11R has a slightly better sharpness levels and lesser noise, because noise control is there on the OnePlus 11R, but Vivo V29 Pro has slightly more noise in the low light condition. This is evident once again in this picture. The Vivo V29 Pro images are vibrant, as well as there is a slightly higher noise compared to the OnePlus 11R, which is less in terms of noise in the low light conditions. So in terms of low light conditions, probably I would pick the OnePlus 11R with slightly better overall results. Now let's move on to the selfie camera. Here we would say the 50 megapixel camera on the Vivo V29 Pro does it better. Once again, the 11R has a slightly overexposed selfie. The skin tones are not very natural, but the Vivo V29 Pro selfies are pretty good and natural looking, and there is a lot of details on offer as well. But once again, the dynamic range is kind of mixed performance. Some areas Vivo V29 Pro did lack a bit of dynamic range, but overall we would still say that the Vivo V29 Pro selfies did better job here in terms of selfie experience. Once again, selfies are more of a personal choice, but based on what we felt, we like the Vivo V29 Pro in terms of selfies. Now you can also take portrait selfies with both the cameras, and once again we like the portrait selfies of the Vivo V29 Pro compared to the 11R. Now 11R has a slightly overexposed selfies, and the edge detection is more sharper on the Vivo V29 Pro. So those are the selfie cameras of these two devices. Now next, let's move on to the video recording of these two devices. Now both the devices can record videos in 4K 60 FPS using the rear camera. There isn't much to decide based on the video recording. Both did a quite good job. Now both of them have optical image stabilization and also electronic image stabilization. The Vivo V29 Pro video looks slightly vibrant and brighter, while OnePlus 11R is a tad contrasty in nature, but both does a quite good job overall. This is the front facing camera sample taken with the Vivo V29 Pro. Now this can record videos in 1080p and 4K. There is also 4K 60 FPS, which is kind of rare at this price segment. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the videos and also the audio output from this camera sample. So this is the front facing camera sample taken with the OnePlus 11R. Now this device can record videos only in 1080p resolution for the selfie camera. There is no 4K support, unlike the Vivo V29 Pro. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is. So that was the camera experience of the Vivo V29 Pro and the OnePlus 11R. So summing up, let's talk about the cameras one by one. Let's take up the daylight captures. Both were quite good. Slightly richer tones on the Vivo V29 Pro, while natural colors on the OnePlus 11R. But overall, I would say the Vivo V29 Pro does have a slight advantage. Now you get ultra wide angle cameras on both the devices. Again, the V29 Pro was slightly better in ultra wide. Now close-up images and macros, there is a macro option on the OnePlus 11R, but again not a great option because the macros are kind of washed out. Close-up images kind of a similar experience, but I would probably take the OnePlus 11R because the colors are more better. And portraits, obviously the Vivo V29 Pro, there's an array of options available to choose the best portrait. You can plenty of options, filters and portrait modes are included, the aura lighting, so plenty of options. And the portraits on OnePlus 11R was not that great. It was kind of overexposed whitish portraits. So portraits, once again the Vivo V29 Pro wins. Now low light experience, that's where we felt the OnePlus 11R did a slightly better job. The noise was slightly lesser and sharpness and details was slightly better using the primary camera on this device. So we would say the low light experience, our pick probably would be the OnePlus 11R by a slight margin. Now selfie camera, of course it's a Vivo V29 Pro. Once again, great selfies, actual color tones, and looks pretty good as well. And you also get these aura lighting options for the selfies as well. Now video recording, both were quite similar. Now in terms of selfie video, videos, we again get a 4K 60 FPS support on the Vivo V29 Pro. So that's the cameras and the video options. So which one should you buy? Now if you are purely looking for a camera centric smartphone, then probably our pick would be the Vivo V29 Pro. This is more focused on the camera, but the processor is not the best out there. If you're looking for more powerful performance, then probably the OnePlus 11R would be the better choice. But in terms of camera, our pick probably would be the Vivo V29 Pro with the better camera setup, especially the portraits. The 12 megapixel portrait camera definitely works better on the Vivo V29 Pro. So that was the camera comparison of the Vivo V29 Pro and the OnePlus 11R. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button and also hit the red subscribe button for more videos. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.